I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is
the Family Showdown! Woo! Top 100! Top 110. It's that time of year. 110. It's the most wonderful time. What?
I thought you weren't supposed to sing. I thought you were like anti that kind of music until
Christmas
after
music?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was BC before COVID, baby. It's Christmas all year now.
Is it?
We're leaving the Christmas lights out next time. Okay, maybe the HOA will have something to say about that, but hi guys. Welcome. No, it's fall. I embrace the pumpkin spice everything. I'm of that camp. Yep. I'm that camp. So, this is the live and crazy wacky, what do you call this? The before
introduction.
That's not nearly as cool as the before party.
The before. Too tired to party.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's been tiring. It's been crazy. It's been wild. And we're just getting started. So, this is the live video before we start going through the top 100, and we're going to do them in segments of 10 as per tradition. And so we're just going to talk about the list a little bit, how we make our lists, well, in particular how I make mine, some of the trends and stuff that we've seen, and then you lovely, lovely peoples get a little treat of, we're going to talk about the 10 games that just didn't quite make it into the top 100. So we're going to talk about those, all these lovely, lovely things, and go from there. And as always with the colorful commentary.
Colorful.
Yes.
Magnificent.
No,
I don't think they're too tired for madness that we're going to have to go with just super.
Super.
Maybe average.
Snippets.
All right, how'd you make your list? Let's start off with that.
Okay. So.
Oh, you have a little sheet here.
I did my homework.
I'll just sit here and have a tasty beverage.
Yeah, and I apologize. I'm still got a really weird scratchy throat thing from strep, which is why we were kind of like out of it last week. So I'm savoring hot water right now just to save my throat so I don't cough and hack around like a goon. So, so how we started it. I don't know. I like to use the little machine that they have on Pub Meeples, a little engine where you can plug in you can make a list if you want, or you can go straight to Board Game Geek and then load your games or a list, however you want to do it, into Pub Meeples' little engine, and then you do a whole little sorting game, and then boom, all of a sudden it's got your list. I did go a little crazy this year, and I did like that's about par for me, I guess. It was like 200 and somewhere in between 260, 280 games. Ranked all of those. I only have the top 110 currently printed out in front of me. So that's what I did with that. You're probably going to do the same thing when you do yours, right? The Pub Meeple. Well, are you thinking about doing the same thing? Or?
Yeah, the Pub Meeple, they've actually enhanced their little engine thing. So you can actually go out, and I rate all my games. I give them a rating, and I usually go back and kind of, before I make my list, I kind of peruse my ratings a little bit. Take a look at them, maybe adjust them a little bit.
Okay.
And then you can pull in what you want to pull in.
Yeah.
So you can pull in your like 8 and higher, or 7 and higher, or 9 and higher, whatever you want to do. You can pull those out of your ratings, which is really cool. So I just pull in. Usually I do my 8s and higher, but I may actually do 9s this time because I think I'm up to about 150 or so 9 plus games.
I'm not surprised because again, if you're new to our channel and stuff, we tend to already have games in mind that we're going to play that we already have an inkling about. We usually study and research and stuff, especially on Hunter's End. Games that we might be interested in before we start playing. So the odds of us getting a really low score on our BGG rating for a game is fairly low. most of the games that we're going for, we already have researched quite a bit and are like, oh, yeah, we're probably going to really like this game. So we tend to skew on the high end of it, which is great. But at the same time, yeah, when you're going for your rankings now, because we've been working so hard on that, then narrowing it down for these lists makes it a little tricky.
Yeah.
So, which is cool. And that's kind of, I mean, if you're going to have a problem, I think that's an excellent problem to have, quite frankly. So.
Yeah, we haven't really bought any stinkers in a long, long, long time. We've been given some, like at conventions and things.
Oh yeah, but that's
and
not
things like that. But
yeah.
But we haven't actually purchased. I'm at the point now where if I don't think we're gonna love a game, I'm not buying it. It's so
right.
It's just like most of our games I've been getting lately just been old Kickstarters. We really aren't buying a lot of games because for whatever reason.
True. Can you turn up the volume just a hair?
I can. Is it quiet?
Yes.
Well, our microphone's a little far away from us.
Okay.
We're really supposed to talk right next to the microphone.
That's true.
I'll turn it up.
We're like, wait. Otherwise, it'll pick up every little tippy tap on the table. So
I cranked it up a little bit.
I voted 2. My sticker fell off my shirt because it's like super soft. It's not fair.
Yeah, it is election night, so we're kind of competing against the chaos of the election.
Yes. So you wonderful people that are avoiding looking at results, we're so happy to have you with us tonight. But yeah, it's a fun thing. I really like the little ranking thing because it really makes you sit and think because it'll pair up 2 games at a time, and it's just simple. It sounds simple. It's like, which one do you like better? Most of the time you're like, yeah, click, and then you get to, this dead stop because you're like, oh, I really like these 2 games. Can I compare these 2 games? They're so different. How do you, and you stall out for a little bit and then you finally select one, and then you go through. And I enjoy doing I forget how many ridiculous permutations it goes through before it finally ranks them for me because, again, if you put in more than 100 games, you're going to be clicking a lot. But I think it's kind of fun. I only do this once a year, so it's pretty awesome.
It works fairly well, but I still think I stick to my little triangle paradox thing.
Yeah.
So, if you compare these 2 games, you'll like this one better. But then you compare this game with another game, you like this one better. But then you like this game better than that game. So you have a paradox almost of games.
And I swear I had a couple of those as I was going through because I would see some of the combos they're doing, and I'm like,
because you compare 2 party games and maybe you like this party game better, but for whatever reason you feel this game's better than this game but not better than this game, so you have this circular logic and you get the hashtag error when you do that.
Hashtag error.
Isn't that what the Excel thing does? Hashtag.
Oh, I thought you were trying to be like a teenager or something. I was like, no, don't try to be all cool.
Error.
Oh my gosh. Pound sign. Now he's old. Okay, boomer. No, just kidding. So, yeah, I enjoy it. It's fun. But again, if you're going to throw in 1,000 games or something crazy when you're going to go do your ranking, just beware that.
1,000 will take you a week of clicking.
It will.
It kind of the number of clicks does this as you add more games.
But the nice thing about that is it does let you save while you're in progress if you need to. So there is that, which I think is a very handy feature. Next up, the combo. So when I was thinking about the rankings, I do kind of a weird combo. Well, maybe it's not weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm weird. But they're a combination, of course, of how good the game is, like how much did I enjoy playing it, how smooth did the gameplay feel, how cool were the components and the art, does it really draw you in, like is that something that I really enjoyed about the experience? And then, of course, for me, too, the gaming experience, like surrounding the game and the memory of playing that game, like did it stick with me? Am I going to have nostalgic things about this because I'm like, oh, this is when we played this game on this and such trip or blah, blah, blah. Some of that comes into play. It really does. It may be kind of one of those games that just facilitates a really great time or it meant a lot because it was, a family member's favorite. And so they were really loving it, that sort of thing. So all of those things kind of come into play for me when I'm thinking about these games. So yeah, is this completely objective and I'm checking off some kind of scientific? No, not even remotely.
Should be objective.
Huh. Well, it's not. So look at this next month and I'll be like, there's some things on this list that need tweaking. I mean, it's not going to stay static. That's just because that's the nature of it.
You swing around a lot more than I do.
I do.
When you do your list from year to year.
I do. Just, I don't know. Just the
Makes
whole...
your list more exciting. Mine's just boring. It's the same 100 games
Is it the same 100 games? No, that's not true because you're Mr. I love new games. So like half of yours just get dumped.
Not half. About 20 to 25 games are new. I think it's going to be lower
30.
this year.
I think it's going to...
We haven't played as many new games this year, huh?
I think you've gone up to almost a third before. Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes. So I tend not to have as many new games as him. So I feel like it's a bigger deal for me when they get on my list because it's kind of hard for them to kind of edge in on my faves because I like to repeat games.
Well, you also got to think that we've played. You're picking the cream of the crop of, probably we're up to maybe you're probably around 2,000 games maybe.
Oh, easy.
So it's really hard to break into that top 5%.
Yeah. So much fun. It's really hard now just to walk in this stupid room because now I'm like, do you know what I want to do during Thanksgiving break? That game and that game and that game. So let alone make a list. It's work. It's work, I tell you. Good work of the best kind. One thing I did notice too, and I tend to do this, and sometimes I forget to mention it too, if I don't remember the gameplay of the game very well or how it worked, it's probably not going to do as well on my list because if I have to really think about it and be like, how did that go again? Obviously, it wasn't a very memorable experience. I might have loved the game. It might be a great game. It's just that for whatever reason, it didn't stick with me, so it's going to need another play probably before it goes up in the list. And there's some games that have tanked probably for that reason, I'm pretty sure. So I think too, some of those that if I don't remember the game very well, or we haven't gotten to it for a long time to the point where I'm like a little fuzzy with it, they dropped a lot, and it might be one of those that, like you said, rubber bands back into my list another year when we get some great plays into it. I have a couple on my list that kind of did that this year. We got to play it after not playing it for a long time, and it's like, wow, that's a great game. Back you go, right into the list. So that's happened. Let's see. Trends I saw. One thing I noticed is I have 16 new games in the top 100, and I have 17 in the top 110. That's probably about par for me, though.
That'd be low for me.
That'd be crazy low for
Although,
you.
like I said, we've played less new games. But we're about to go to Board Game Geek Con, and we crank out lots of new games when we
usually
go there.
do. Yeah, we usually just go and like play. So I'm excited about that quite a bit. Yeah, I found that interesting. 16. I can't decide. I have to look at years past because I don't remember how that is. I want to say that's probably about on par, though.
I think it's low.
It might be low. But we also, like you said, have bought less games this year.
But we got a lot of Kickstarters in this year, too.
We do have some still back over that might be on this list next year, too.
Yeah.
The thing that it was a little bit startling in an awesome way for me, though, is I have 3 that are in the top 20 that are brand new. That are brand new.
That's even high for me.
Yeah.
It's hard to break into my top 20.
Yeah, and I think they're probably here to stay.
Interesting. I'm excited now. Let's just skip to your 20.
Okay.
Top 20.
Top 20 right now? And something that you have mentioned to me, too, and I noticed when I was making my list, and this may shock those of you that are used to me, more attacky games have snuck onto my list.
Come to the dark side.
I think you have. I think you've corrupted me. I
think you've kind of, before you I don't know what the proper word, I don't know if taking it personal is the right way, but you don't like people messing with your stuff.
Yeah.
And you've kind of gone beyond that to just accept it for what it is.
Let's be real. I just don't care anymore. And now I want to watch the world burn. And no, seriously though, I think just for some reason I was like, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to lose some stuff.
In your old age.
I am. It's all those teenagers. They've corrupted me.
The Queen of Mean. I'm
kidding. The teenagers are great. As Hunter, he corrupted me.
Queen of Mean.
Oh, I like that.
called you the Queen of Mean.
Yes, I like that. I'll take that moniker. Great. Yeah, that's perfect. Love it. Love it.
That's true. She
Queen
is
of
very
mean.
mean.
I like that.
Let's get to it. Let's do it.
Attacky bits. But
Let's
I'm still
do it.
very much an Omni gamer, obviously, as you will see.
Let's get to the
Obviously.
get to the 110 to 101 fun stuff.
So, ooh, I like your new to you games, Nathan. Yes, those are greatness. So, yes, those of you that are in the chat and stuff too, I love this when you guys, they can read that, then they are eagle eyes.
I can't even read it. I was like struggling to read it today. I'm getting old. I was like doing the old man. I was doing the old
trombone.
Man thing. Where you're looking at it like, oh.
Playing the trombone. Okay, so. All right. So these are the ones that just missed the list. And let's see here. So, you ready? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Are you though? Are you ready? Now, again, heads up, I am an Omni gamer. I like to play a little bit of everything. And as I said last time, the attacky games are slowly sneaking their way in here and there. So you might find that interesting. My number 110, back in, it's an interesting stat. In 2018, it was my number 100. I'm assuming that's when this game came out.
But no, it wasn't on your list in 19, 20, 20, or 21, and it came back on this year.
Yeah. That sounds about right. I've had some weird quirky things happen with my BGG list. Anywho, sonar. You could probably lump this in with Captain Sonar together. The variations on a theme. This is a fantastic group game. Maybe I just really, really want to play this again too, because we had a lot of fun playing this. This has a couple different formats that you can play. It's got a turn-based, and then it's got a live doing it right then and there versions of the game. So if the frenetic, scary, like heart-stopping pace is too much for you, you can do the turn-based. It slows it down a little bit, takes some of the pressure off, but it's still got a lot of intensity. And what you're doing is it's submarine warfare. And you're going through and you're trying to figure out where the other sub is hiding so you can shoot them down. It's like Hunt for Red October all over again. It's greatness. And so everyone's got their jobs, and you've got the captain and everybody, and you're trying to call out things, and you're fixing equipment and doing stuff so you can maneuver different ways and search on this map using the sonar, of course, trying to find the other players. Meanwhile, the other ship is doing the exact same against you, and it's almost like a game of Battleship, a really cool, tricked up one that's in real time, and hence the crazy pace. Because, of course, we're firing stuff back and forth, the officers and everybody doing their jobs and everything. Meanwhile, the other group also has to listen to hear where we're trying to ping for locations, or we're firing torpedoes, things like that. It's quite a bit of chaos, but like controlled chaos. Just like submarine warfare.
This one isn't quite as chaotic as Captain
Not
Sonar.
quite, which is why I think I like this one a hair better, because you can kind of tone it down a little bit and not totally just, this one can. I think Captain Sonar can stress people out, especially if they're easily stressed out and like that, because it can get to be a very tense game. But this one is a little more scaled back, but still has that energy to it, which is great.
Yeah, Captain Sonar is 6 players, 3 on each side. This one is.
Oh, I thought it was 8.
Is it 8?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 8?
Yeah, Captain Sonar is 8.
Oh, it is 8. Yeah, and this one is either 2 or 4 players. There's 2 roles on each side, and one person can do both roles. Obviously, and do 1-on-1.
It's so much work.
But it's better to do 2 players versus 2 players.
So much more fun.
That's the real game. The other one's kind of meh.
I see the chat's already started. Oh yes, this didn't make the top 100. It's absolute garbage.
It is absolute garbage.
Absolute rubbish. It's just.
That would be my top 1,000 maybe.
So for actual fun games, I got you.
What?
Huh? What? Huh? Switching gears a little bit. A little tamer.
Man, your list.
What? You don't want boring and predictable?
No.
Exactly.
You're definitely not going to get that.
Nope. Shush. So my number 109 kind of took a dive. In 2019, it was 55. Apparently, this is one of those that magically bounced out of my list. Really cool. So we went from submarine warfare to vegetables. slight
Gardening.
change here, a slight change in hobbies. This is a fun little puzzly, beautiful game. Again, Uwe Rosenberg, love his gameplay and the mechanisms. This is one of those that's just like a sweet game of about an hour length. It's great 2-player. And let's see here. Oh, it has a solo variant too. This one's fun. It's got little trays with all your veggies and stuff in it. And then it's got, I believe it's a table, right? Isn't it considered a table?
Like a banquet
table? A banquet table. And
something.
On each one, there's, I don't know, but the family that's eating at this table, they're a little funky because one table has like 1 carrot, probably a toddler, right? Then the next table's like 4 peppers. And you're like, all right. But it goes up, it ramps up. Pretty soon somebody wants 27 radishes. Who is this person and why are they sitting at this banquet table? I don't know. But you're planting your garden and you're trying to, it's not really Tetrising it so much with your garden space. There's a little bit of that, but timing is of the essence because everything takes a certain amount of time to deplete and then you have to replenish and you cannot replant anything in those areas until all of the vegetables are out. So you're trying to get ramped up a nice engine going so you have the right amount of vegetables to move forward because you can't pass on to the next table until you have the right amount of vegetables and everything. So it is crazy puzzly, but just like addictive fun. It's got a great engine with it. The garden puzzle, like I said, the timing and everything is really interesting. And it's a lot of fun because you're also racing each other as you're doing this because, of course, you want to be the first person around the table, beat the other person. So, very cool game. Raycolt. What year did this one come out?
4 years ago, maybe? Yep.
Yeah.
18.
Look at that. So, yes, absolutely, Hawkskull. Hunt for Red October 2. Hunt for the Rutabaga. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a very much a scaled back game. It's not as meaty as a lot of
Uwe's. Yeah, this is not super heavy.
But it's got some interesting choices, and it is, like you said, extremely puzzly. It's
very puzzly, but it's real pretty.
Yeah.
So if you're not wanting one of a super heavy, I'm overwhelmed with choices games, this is a great one to go with. So now we went from crazy submarine warfare to crazy gardening to now crazy small box. This was my 113 last year. It is my 108 this year, and it is the cute, adorable little box that's probably reflecting right now. That is Trails. I love this game. So you're just hiking across the U.S. and you're going back and forth on this on your trail, and along the way you've got this is such a cute
hiking the entire U.S.
Yes, the entire United States. Here's the rule book. Look at this. It's so tiny, but it also has like a list of all the artists. It's got some other stuff in here. But you're doing different things. Like it's got astronomy and bird watching. You've got all these little activities which are represented by all these exciting cubes and stuff. Find the tiles. So you have these little tiles. Sorry, I like to show off games. And you make your trail with all of these different things. And they have different kinds of resources across them. By the way, they're 2-sided. Ooh. Okay. And you get different things, and you kind of take its resource management, and you're going through and you're trying to spend the resources to get stuff, and eventually victory points, all that kind of good stuff. The art on the cards is really pretty. There's a lot of games in this kind of like nature line that have become popular. Let me put this like this so you can see it. And this one I think is one of my faves just because this is really easy to get to the table for people and get them interested in like the whole thing. 'Cause, I mean, everybody can get around hiking. It's a pretty basic premise, right? And it's got really beautiful little art. It's got fun little pieces like there's a little bear, wooden bear, and your little token's a little hiker guy with his little walking stick. It's pretty cute. The rest are cubes. They're kind of boring. But the cards and stuff are absolutely gorgeous. It fits in this tiny little box. You can take it anywhere and play it. It doesn't take up a whole, it's not one of those table hogs. And I really absolutely love this game. It's a good one too. And it is great to take camping or do some kind of like outdoorsy activity with. So I like Trails. Was this one of the ones that was a Target exclusive at least for a while?
I don't recall.
I can't remember. I think it was at some point. It is almost tiny epic Trails, right? It's like a tiny little box. But it's one of those that packs a nice size game inside it.
Yeah, it's a like you said, it's a super easy little game to play. It plays quickly.
Yeah, because it's not even.
It's
It's like
20, 30 minutes, something like that.
yeah,
It's
short
it
game.
is.
It's great.
Park's little brother.
Yeah, that's a great way to say. Yeah, Park's little
Inferior
brother.
Little brother.
We'll discuss that at some point, I'm sure. At some point. All right, so I love me some trails. So my number 107. Oh, it dropped, you guys. It's 904. It was 904 last year, and now it dropped a little bit. Probably because we played the tar out of this for a while, and it's kind of chilled a little bit. Draftosaurus, another light little game, a little bit bigger box. So this game, I don't know why, I absolutely just fell in love with this game. So Draftosaurus is a cute little silly game. Ooh, fancy bag. So what you have is your little player board, and it's got two different sides. So you have a summer and a winter side. Ooh. And it's just a simple little, and there's expansions. Obviously, there's some expansions and stuff with it. The expansions are very fun, by the way. But you're drafting sources. You heard right. So you roll the die. The die tells you what part of the board you're going to be drafting to. And there's different things like this one has to all be the same kind. And then like this one has to be all different kinds. And there's a T-Rex pin. And there's also one that's like you can only have one of this type of dinosaur. The whole board, you have to decide what that is. And there's even a river. It's a little dark, but if it doesn't fit anywhere, you can throw the dinosaur in the river.
He also takes a swim. You don't throw him in the river.
Threw him in the river. But it's adorable. It's a really fun, cute little game. I love this stinking game. And look at the colors. I mean, just crazy, bright, colorful little dinosaurs. They're absolutely cute. They're all unique shapes for the different kinds. So much fun. And the expansions, I don't know how difficult they may be to find right now, but we have Draftosaurus Marina and Draftosaurus Aerial Show. And they've got little extra boards that go with it and some extra things that you can do. Basically, the river continues down, and then you've got different little places that you can draft with specific kinds of little dinosaurs. Really, really cute game. It goes really fast. It's another one of those quick, easy to get to the table. And there you go. That one, Draftosaurus. That was my, what did I say that was? 107? Man.
It's all right.
You like it. Everybody likes playing that one.
Fun little game.
It is. It's fun.
Another quick little half-hour game. Maybe not even a half hour. How long does they say it takes?
It's probably half an hour.
15 minutes.
15 minutes? Okay. 15 minutes then. I guess half an hour if you have some.
You can tell this game was made pre-COVID, though.
How so?
It's the way you draft the dinosaurs. You keep them in your hand.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You pass your hand to the next person.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. You're so right. That's funny. A whole different era. Like, you don't even think about it.
Take my COVID dinosaurs and draft from them.
I want my plague lizard. Okay, so... Oh, dear. Okay, now here is a cool, weird little anomaly. This was my number 106 last year, and it's my 106 this year. Any guesses?
It's a garbage game, apparently.
Wow, I don't think you mean that.
Oh.
I don't think you mean that, because you love this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yokohama.
You have like a love-hate relationship with this game.
I do.
You love the game, but you hate the game.
Let me be specific with this. I love this game. I hate the art. I don't know why. The art just irritates me.
It's funny because you like the Rising Sun art, which is very similar.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's all mythological and stuff, and this is very stark and sparse and like...
It's just
boring.
Japanese art.
I don't know. I don't like this one.
Well,
I don't know why.
Maybe Japan didn't like it.
Rude. But the game is fantastic, and I love this game. This one is pretty heavy. It's a pretty heavy game.
It is a heavy game.
You have to really think about where you want to go. It kind of reminds me of Istanbul a little bit, but like kick it up a notch. You've got different tiles.
Notches.
Yeah, a couple notches. You have different tiles, and they all have different little like mini things going on them. But you have a certain kind of trail that you make as you go. Or is it like in reverse?
No, you drop off
it's like
assistance.
you drop them off as you go.
You can move along.
Yeah, I was like, it's the opposite of Istanbul. It's really funky,
Yeah.
but it's like the same premise. So yeah, you're dropping off these little assistants, and you have a limited amount of them. So you can only travel so far away as you're going, and then you have to go back and pick them up or do something to retrieve them. But as you go, it's another thing where you have to avoid other people because you have to pay these crazy fees if you're on the same spaces and using the same things as other people. And I think, isn't there like an NPC kind of player in this one too? Because I know in Istanbul there are some, but
the evil, I don't know.
I can't remember if there was
Foreign
on this.
agents. I don't know what they're.
What? Anyways,
Secret agent man.
Secret agent man. That sounds very suspicious to me. But you're going in and you're achieving different things and building up your engine, of course, and then eventually you're going to take this and go to another place and churn out some stuff and victory points and this and that. But you have to really, really, really plan out how you want to move. You can't just bounce across the board. You have to make your way there, and you want to, if possible, avoid people because the goods and the money and everything in the game are so at a premium. It's so difficult to come by them that you don't want to pay that having the same space as you fee. It's just a waste, right? So you're trying to plan and avoid other people as you're moving around and getting to these different places. I really, really love the engine and how this game works. I don't know. The art irritated me. For the longest time, I wouldn't even want to play the game. And then I just got into it. It's a really smooth game. Really smooth.
I need to reprint tiles for you.
There you go. Print some GNU tiles and stuff.
Yokohama!
That one's not a short game. That's probably at least an hour and a half.
That's more like 2 hours.
Is it?
Let's see what it says.
What did they say? 90 minutes.
It's more like 2 hours.
Probably, especially if you haven't played it in a while, because there's a lot to absorb when you're learning the rules.
Well, and it's also one of those games you can kind of bog down too.
Oh, easily.
You're like, you have to plan out how you're going to travel to places, and and you build up the different locations. You can build them up and make them more powerful. So basically, when you go to the location, it's how powerful of an action you can do. Depends on how many trading posts you have, whatever the buildings are, trading posts and things and stuff that's there to make your action more powerful. And like you said, you really have to think about where you're going to go, how you want to do it, what you want to do, what level of power you can do with that thing, and then it's a crunchy game. Crunchy.
Delightfully crunchy. All right, so next up, we have gone from Yokohama to another game that could stall you out with lots of choices. In fact, so many choices that I know that you did a whole mathy episode of this for like Board Game Breakfast or something about just how many options there are in this game. And my number 105 is 105. Make sure I had that right. 5 tribes.
Thief Tribes?
Yes, as Brothers Murph said. Thief Tribes. So yeah, this game. Oh my goodness. So you've got all these little colored cubes all over this tile. Meeples. Are they actually meeples? Oh yeah, they are. They are colored meeples. I'm so used to cubes. And they're all over the board. And each different color meeple has a different function and stuff. Like the red's like an assassin and this and that. And the white one's like collect things and this and that. So it's you pick up those from that space and you're going to lay one out and kind of make a little trail, kind of Mancala style. And wherever you stop, that's where you're going to take an action on that tile. So there's a lot of stuff going into play. You're like, well, where do I want to put which colored meeples? Where do I want to land? What am I going to do when I get there? How will that affect my play versus their, like there's so much going on. It's very easy to stall out in this game. In fact, we kind of hesitated to play this for the longest time because we heard about that. When we finally did get the game, the first thing we said to each other is like, okay, we have to make a promise. If you start to feel like you're stalling out, we just have to keep moving ahead. Just pick the first option that looks really good and go on with it. We're like, okay. So we didn't end up having the trouble with that some people do. It's a really good game, but you do have to make a conscious effort to say, I am not going to sit here and look at all the permutations because there are literally thousands. I believe you said there was like 1,200 or some crazy...
Yeah, I can't remember. I did a Board Game Breakfast on this, and I basically just set up the board randomly like you would to start the game. And the first player, I can't remember, I thought it was 1,500 different moves they could do for the first turn.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But what's fun too is they trick it up with different things because there's like these djinns that have special powers and abilities and stuff.
Something. I can't remember. It's a lot.
It was insane. It's an insane number. So there's different power ups, and then you can also put little palaces and palm trees on things and get extra victory points for this and that. And there's different things with the meeples. You can collect them and get victory points that way. There's all these neat different ways to collect victory points throughout the rest of the game. And then on top of all these choices you have literally every turn. And then it gets tight as the game is ending because then you only have meeples in certain places and it's getting sparse. You're like, can I make a move that's even viable, at this point? Oh, it's such a good game. Such a good game. And Days of Wonder, like their production and stuff is so bright and beautiful and really well done. It's another one of those that's just gorgeous to look at.
Yeah, it's a good one.
In stark contrast to Yokohama.
Since we played this guy.
Yeah, it has been a while. It's due for a good play-in again.
That's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that the first time we played it at the convention. I think it was West Texas. Pretty sure it was West Texas Con. But anyway,
probably
we basically said you're basically on a timer to decide your moves, and I'm fine with that until we get down to like the last 3 or 4 turns, and I'm like really have to. Not calculating every single combination.
You kind of lose on that at the end. I'm like, okay, the last turn maybe, but the other ones I'm like, get moving.
It's like, okay, this moves 12 points. Yeah. This moves 13 points. This moves 10 points.
It's like, just stop. Just pick it. Just pick it. Just pick it. Yeah.
Eat trees.
Yes. Oh, man. Good times. So then I have, this one went up. Probably because we had another play of it. I think Nessa played it with us at one point.
No clue what you're talking about.
Well, it was 135 last year, and it jumped up to 104 this year, and that is the absolutely beautiful little game of Honey Buzz. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is one of those games where as soon as you hear about it, you're like, this is adorable. I must see what this is. So Honey Buzz is another kind of puzzly, delightful goodness with crazy overproduction. Is this a Kickstarter version or something, or is this
a deluxe version?
Okay, deluxe version.
Maybe it's Kickstarter. I don't remember. It's a deluxe version.
It's ridiculous, whatever it is. No, don't close it. I want to show off some stuff. So, Honey Buzz is a puzzly little game, and you've got lots of these. You're building little honeycombs, but on them are different little things, and they all have different actions and abilities attached to them. So as you're building these honeycombs, once you complete a shape or you put things in there, blah, blah, blah. There's several different things you can do with them. You get special powers and they unlock things. Well, one of those things is you're making all these different little types of honey. Hence the name, Honey Buzz, right? What's fun is in the deluxeified craziness version here, these little pieces of the honey, I know they're kind of weird to look at. They're weird little shapes, and they have like a gummy texture to them. They're squishy. You can kind of squish them. Yeah, the hunter just bounced it. And they're different colors. They got one that's like a dark amber, and there's a light amber, and then like an orangish, peachy kind of colored one. And they're different shapes to kind of go with it in case, if you're having color issues with it, they're all different shapes too. And the shapes match what they have on the cards. And then your little bees, they're all different little bees, and all the shapes are different bees, and they have it's just absolutely beautiful. But the puzzle of it is really pretty, and it's really good to get into. I hesitate to say it's Family Plus. It might even be a little heavier than that. It depends.
Not too bad. It's gamer family weight.
Yeah, gamer family. That's a good way to put it. Like, if they're almost edible. They look like it would be, Michael. You're right. They look like they're like little gummies.
Very gummy looking.
Yeah.
But Nessa plays this without much direction, but she also plays.
Yeah, but she plays a lot of games. But yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, if she's figuring that out, I think you're right. A gamer family could easily throw this down, and it's got a really cool, approachable theme. Again, the nature theme is really easy to get into. It's really pretty. All the pieces are really cute, and the deluxeified edition is ridiculous. The little player one piece is one of those little honey dippers. It's an actual little honey dipper made out of wood. It's adorable. Just stinking cute game. It's really fun to play, and if you're in the mood for puzzly, it seems like I have a lot of puzzle stuff in this 10. So if you're in the mood for a puzzly game that's not Tetrising pieces, because these are just making honeycomb shapes. So this would be something different that you could enjoy.
The gameplay itself, it's just a worker placement game with
Yeah,
little bees.
with
but
the cutest little bees.
The complicated part, what makes this kind of a little bit heavier game, is
how you build
how those honeycombs work and how they. If you make certain shapes, you get certain abilities, and they have only certain sides can match up with each other. So yeah, it's a little complicated to explain how the little honeycomb works.
Yeah, that would be the toughest part by far. But again, how to figure out how to move everybody and everything is pretty easy. So it's adorable. Adorable. All right, we're getting down to the last few. My 103 leaped up, and maybe because we started getting back into playing some more Feld games, and he's having these reprint things coming out and stuff. And
which I want our copies. Where are our copies?
I don't know. Are they due?
Yes.
Oh, it's probably a good thing I didn't know that. So, if you probably hadn't guessed already, it is a Feld game, and that is Bruges. So,
which was reprinted as Some Other City.
Some Other City. Some Other City! Yes. So, this one is a kind of, I would probably say his lightest one or close to it.
No.
As far as...
No.
No? What?
No.
What's his lightest?
Roman Pirates.
Okay.
La Isla?
La Isla's not easier than this.
Yes, it is.
No.
You got the cards that have 7 different things they do.
That's only for AP then. All right, fine.
7 different.
Fine. There's 2 games that are lighter.
I think it's 7 different things the cards do.
It's something ridiculous. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a thing here. 6. At least 6. At least 6 that I can see.
Flip it over and use it as a building.
So if you hadn't guessed, it's all about these multi-use cards. So you have a map and you're trying to build canal. I was like the thing with the water and English is my language. Okay. So you're trying to build these canals along the side, and you've got these multi-purpose cards, and you're trying to do things with them because you can use them for different components that are along the side to build different things and do stuff. Or they've got special abilities written in on the characters that you can do during your turn. And they all are color-coded, and you can do certain colors based off of what you've built. Oh, my goodness. It sounds heavier than it is, though. It's mostly about these choices. It's not that the game itself is complicated. It's just that you're overwhelmed with all these choices. Those cards are ridiculous because you're looking at it like, ooh, that's a really good resource. I could totally use that. Ooh, that's a really good ability. I could totally do that. Oh, I should probably just ditch this card and get something. You're just like, there's so many different things. It's really hard to pick what you want to use the card for. And you go through the cards so quickly, you are going to have to discard cards to do other things. It'll be like, you can do this to discard blah, blah, blah. Well, then you have to choose between all these good cards and which ones you're going to throw out or whatever. Decisions.
And
this
is one of the punitive Feld games.
That's true, too.
Because they have threats.
Punitive.
What do they call threats?
Punitive.
They have like floods and fires and...
Oh, that's also one of the things you have to discard for,
to
get rid of the threats.
So
the threats are...
So this and You're the Dragon and...
You're the Dragon's the meanest.
What's the one where you're riding around?
Notre Dame.
What I call the punitive Felds that do bad things to you. Even Oracle of Delphi falls in that category.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
It does. You have the little skull things. Diseases or plagues or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I always forget about that. But yeah, I'm kind of glad. I don't think... He's kind of gotten away with that with his more recent games. He doesn't really do that as much.
Oracle has it.
Well, Oracle, but that one's fairly old. I'm thinking of more of his newer stuff, and I don't think he's done very many like that in a while, which is kind of nice. I don't know. The constantly battling the bad stuff happening drives me bananas after a while.
It adds a little bit of, you have to decide how much you want to mitigate that, right? And there's almost a little bit pressure luck. It's like, I was just thinking I won't get another plague thing
and you
this
will
turn.
Get another plague thing this time.
I'll do something useful. And you get plague.
Gets the plague. Yes. So I think that's why it's getting a resurgence. We hadn't played those games in a little while, and for a while we were playing them.
I pseudo played it. I kind of quickly demoed them all at Gen Con.
Oh, okay.
All
the new stuff.
Yeah, Amsterdam and what are they all called? I don't remember. New York. I don't remember their names. I'm excited about the new
They're
one.
cities.
The new failed city game.
Yeah, that one's gonna be cool too.
The 3, Macau, Bruges, and Rialto are being reprinted as different cities for whatever reason. Because Queen.
They're like, this is my city.
Yes, they don't want to use
my city.
They don't want to use the Aaliyah cities. They have to use their own cities. And the new Marrakesh, I think is the name of it, is the new one that's that's the new, not reprint.
Very cool. Very cool. That's exciting. Yay! Okay.
So those are coming soon.
Someday.
Maybe.
Yes.
Later. Eventually.
That's funny. Alrighty. And then my number 102. This is the new one. This is new to the list. Yes. And this one was a kind of surprise. I didn't know that this game really existed until you got it. And
they kind of collected dust for a while too.
It did, and then we all played it.
I think it's a 2020 game. Is it 2020? I'm looking. Oh yeah, 2020. Yeah, so it collected dust for. We hesitated to get it, and then it sat on our shelf for a while, and then we played it, and the whole family loved it.
And the family. This is Mysterium Park, so we had Mysterium, and this was the Mysterium Killer because it basically took the best parts of what we liked about Mysterium, streamlined it a little bit, put it in a smaller box, and ta-da! Wow. I honestly, it was one of those things that both the kiddos really liked it too. They're like, wow. And we asked, we're like, okay, which one, would you pick one over the other? And it was a unanimous, we all kind of like, yes.
I think it has to do with attention spans of children these days. They'd rather play a half-hour game than an hour game.
There's probably some of that too. Yeah. But I think it killed a lot of the downtime that you just didn't need to have. And I think it did streamline it in a good way.
Less rules, easier to set up.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera.
This is easier to get to the table by far. And I think this one would be easier to teach people how to play as well.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fun. And so the whole premise with that is like you're solving this crime. It's almost like Clue-esque, but you're getting hints from beyond, and their hints are really trippy because they have these weird cards. You have to guess what the spirits are telling you, and they're like Dixit cards, so they're really weird. So you're getting this card, and you're like, well, it's green. Does that mean it's in this room over here that's green, or is it something that's in the room? So there's all this discussion going on. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And trying to outthink everybody, and we learn quickly, like, my brain is not wired like everybody else's, I swear, because they'll be like, it's obvious, didn't you see that? And it's like, no, I was looking at this. And so we have, it's fun. They're trying to think who's it and who's not, and how to get it so that person will get the clues, and it's just fun. It's a lot of fun solving crime.
I like the fact that because Mysterium is kind of just generic in terms of here's a bunch of different rooms, here's a bunch of different items, here's a bunch of different people. This one is a carnival.
At the carnival,
it's very everything kind of revolves around a really wacky, scary, spooky carnival theme, and that kind of draws it in a little bit better than just a bunch of random. It tightens it up. Bunch of random
because
the buildings and stuff.
The rooms in the museum in the house were like completely rando rooms too. Right. And so trying to tie them to a card was really tough.
But if you have the carnival, not liking carnival thing, this is definitely not the game for you.
That's true. The creepy clown thing.
No, I like this one. This one it gives the same exact feeling, similar experience in half the time. Yep.
It's true, though. Mysterium Park.
And last.
But definitely not the least. What? Okay. This one was 134. It's come up to... excuse me, I'm losing my voice again. It's up to 101. I think it's because it needs some playing again. And this style of game, I don't know why. I really like these, and it's kind of ramping up again. Is 51st State. We haven't played this in a while. This has a post-apocalyptic theme, but it's very similar in play to like Imperial Settlers.
Yes.
So you've got the cards, and you're dealing with the cards, and they all have the special things, and you're building up your engine to be able to do everything. Very, very similar to Imperial Settlers. But again, you're going with a post-apocalyptic theme. It's a really smooth game. I would argue that it's probably, I don't know, might be a little smoother feel than Imperial Settlers.
It's a little meatier too.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more oomph to it. I don't think. Yeah, it says 60 to 90 minutes, so its playtime's around the same. I just feel like for just straight up Imperial Settlers versus 51st State anymore, I probably would pick this one over that.
We did, because we got rid of the other one. Of course, I think what killed it was Empires of the North.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was Empires of the North. Might talk about that at a later point. But I was going to say, I don't think there's anything like, there's nothing that's
Just
especially...
it's a bunch of cards.
Yeah, there's nothing especially flashy about this game or anything. Then, little red guns, little blue gas cans, little gray gears. I mean, the pieces are fun.
They're just different
but it's just a resource.
They could easily be tomatoes and gold coins.
It totally could. I think the theme's a little more interesting.
Yes.
The art is not like crazy amazing. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, this art. I don't know. It's apocalyptic, gritty.
Favorite art.
Well, I'm glad you like it. It's not one of those that I'm going to be like, yeah, get this because of the art. You know, it's like, all right. Nothing especially stands out. But gameplay, heck, a lot of fun. There you go. Blue gas can?
No.
No, not so much. But yeah, again, that's my number 101. It just missed the list. Yes, garbage. The hot garbage, yes.
It is garbage.
Interesting. But that is a little kickstart off into the top 100 land. So I believe the schedule.
Let's see if you know the schedule.
I think what we were planning on doing is you're going to post the next one on Thursday. Correct? Then you're posting another one on Tuesday.
Yes.
And then on Tuesday night, we'll still have a live show.
Yes.
Unrelated to the top 100. Correct?
Correct.
And then we'll have another one that pops up on Thursday that is pre-recorded also. And then I have no idea what we're doing during Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving.
So it's gonna be every Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay. As
10's gonna get released, pre-recorded.
Okay.
1:00 Central Time is the plan. Hopefully I can
US
stick to
Central.
that.
Okay.
And if my math is right, December 13th is the top 10 live.
Okay. But what are we doing the week of Thanksgiving? Have we figured that out yet?
We'll have a show Tuesday night.
Oh, we will? Okay. Are we going to post a pre-recorded one on Thursday?
Yes.
Cool. So if you're bored on Thanksgiving, look at some 10 games that are just absolutely awesome.
1 week from tonight is going to be our board game GeekCon recap. I don't know what we'll recapping, but we'll recap something. But we'll definitely talk about the games that we played since last time we had a variety show, which we tried out some new Kickstarters and some other things.
Oh, the tasty
we
games.
have some definitely some cool games to talk about.
For sure.
And if we do like we did last year at Board Game Geek, we cranked out like a bazillion short games. So we did all the new games that were short and easy to learn, and played a ton of those. So we'll probably do something similar. I'm playing a bunch of epic games Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tons of epic games. But
that's exciting.
So Board Game Geek Con recap 1 week from tonight. The week after that will probably be a top 10. And then I don't know where we're going. Maybe another variety show. And then I think it's the top 100, top 10 after that. So, and then after that, December 13th, we're getting close to year-end stuff. So I don't know if it'll be that week or the week following week. We'll do our top 10 of 2022.
Oh, wow.
So,
and this was a good year for some games. Or is it just because we got Kickstarters?
Got a bunch of big Kickstarters in that are
Do
really
those
good.
Count?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was like, otherwise it's going to be tough. But yeah, it's been a good year for board gaming, quite honestly. It's been fun, and it's really awesome to make this list.
And the best games are just now starting to come out, so we'll see.
Best is yet to come, as you say?
Kind of. So, Thursday, 1 p.m. Central, U.S., 100 to 91.
Let's go.
And then Tuesday will be 90 to 81, et cetera, et cetera. Next week, we'll be doing a Board Game Geek recap. We'll see you then.
Yep.
Bye! I guess I need to push a button.
Push the button, Frank.
This one?
Maybe.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little... Just... You didn't...
What?
You